Okay, guys. I started to look at some loads for the 357, and I said, well, let me do also the 45 ACP and the and let's do some comparison also with a 45 Ruger that a friend of mine bought. So to carry on the woods, I want to see the what loads that there is and the energy and everything. So on the 357, I'm looking at the 158 grain hollow point or jacketed, and then the maximum powder load, it's 15 grains of N110, and it gives you 1253 out the muzzle. So I did that for the 357, the 45 Colt, and the 45 ACP. I put the, I didn't put the maximum load. I put the powder that I have, which is unique. And I don't have bullseye. I said, well, let me see what comes up. And it was kind of surprising. And I'll show you what I mean. All right, let me start with the, what's on the list now is the Ruger 260 grain 45 Long Colt. And that gives you, it's got 183 bullet efficiency. That's the grain, and that's the speed out the muzzle, 179. Then I did the 200 Ruger, 136 coefficiency, 200 bullet, 1301 out the muzzle. Then the 357 Magnum, 158, 173 coefficiency, and 1188 out the muzzle. And the Auto ACP 200 grain, 138 coefficiency, 934 out the muzzle, and 230 ACP, 160 coefficiency, 849 out the muzzle. And oh, I have another Magnum here. Let me see what I did with that. 1253. That's the maximum load on that one. So I added everything to the shot, and I already shot it. And there the what do you call this, the rainbow. And I don't know why the lines are wavy. It comes out semi-straight. The blue's kind of wavy. The purple is wavy. They're all kind of wavy, and then they meet roughly around 25 yards. And then from there, they start spreading. And I'm not really looking at the accuracy because it goes from 1.5 inch to 3 inch. So the difference here is only 1.5 inches. So it's not a big deal at 50 yards because I couldn't, the program doesn't allow me to change this here, the 50 to say 25 yards. It doesn't, it says it doesn't take it. Minimum is 50 yards. So now let's get the readings here. Like I said, I'm not looking at the bullet drop or anything. I'm going to look at energy and speed. So the 45 Long Colt Ruger 260 grain gives you, at 50 yard, it gives you 672 pounds of pressure, 1,079 feet per second at 50 yards. Then if you go down to the 45 Long Colt Ruger 200 grain, it gives you 752 pounds of pressure at 50 yards, and speed is 1301. 357 Magnum gives you, with 158 grain, it gives you 817 foot-pound. At speed is 1430. So it gives you a little bit more. And then the ACP, 45 ACP 200, it gives you 387 energy, 934 feet per second. Then the 45 ACP 230 grain, it gives you 368. So that's roughly about 10, 20 pounds. and then it's 849 feet per second. And then the last 357 Magnum with lesser grain, it gives you 551 energy, and speed is 1253. So the 357 with 817 and the 45 Colt 200 grain with 752, they both come fairly decent for stopping power, because actually I would think that the 45 long Colt gives you a better stopping power because it's a bigger bullet. So the difference between the two as far as the energy is only 60 pounds. Now, one thing that I can determine with this program is the penetration. The 357, being that it's faster by 100 feet, actually 130 feet, it might penetrate a little more, but I cannot determine that with this program because it's not that kind of program. You will have to do some sort of a ballistic gel test. But still, I don't think that's going to give you an accurate reading, because the ballistic gel is mostly designed to copy or imitate density of a person's body. And the only person that did a more realistic penetration test was a professional shooter. I can't remember his name, but I used to watch his videos. And this guy was very, very anal about everything. I mean, he shot through ribs, steaks. I think he was shooting ribeyes. He went through orange and lemons and stuff. And he would put clothing, and he would put several layers of and like a coat. So he would do the penetration test with 357, 44 Magnum, 45 ACP, 45. He did everything, and he had the most accurate to a testing tool compared to a bear, I think, because nobody's done a bear penetration test with any bullet, unless you have the actual carcass of a bear. I see some people shoot pig, dead pig, and then they see, but the bear, it's a lot bigger than a pig. And it's not going to give you the pig is not going to give you the same information on the penetration. But the 357, being that it's faster, and this is, by the way, this is with almost a maximum load, because I put down, they have two loads of powder. The 14.3, that's what I have here. It gives you the 1430 out the muscle, 1030 and 1430 out the muscle, giving you the energy of the 817. But if you go maximum load with the same powder, which is the 296 at 15.9 grains, it gives you 1573 out the muscle. So let me change let me see, the one on the bottom, I think it was the weakest one, 551. Let me change the one on the bottom, which is, let's double check. Energy, no wait, it's this one. It's 551. In this one, it's only putting out 1253 out the muscle with 158 grain. Ballistic coefficient is not going to change because that's the best one. So let's change that one on the test here, and let's put down the amount of maximum speed, which is, what is it, 1573. Let me double check the ballistic coefficient. Oh, it's different here with the 180. It's 230. Okay, so it's good to look twice. 230. it's 180 grain. We've got to change that too. With the maximum load. All right, let's save that. And I have it at a 1,000 feet. Temperature is 59, and being that it's 50 yards distance, I don't think nothing is gonna do any variance. Temperature, pressure, or altitude. None of that stuff's gonna do nothing. Okay. Add it and let's shoot it. And let's go to the bottom. And I can see right there it went up. It was down here somewhere around 1.5. It went up to 3/4 of an inch almost. Right there. Let's go to the bottom and let's look at the energy, which is the important thing, not really the drop. So over here you have a 989. Now that it's a kicker. And the speed is 1573 out the muzzle. So the speed out the muzzle doesn't really mean much because it's out the muzzle, and it only matters if you're 4 feet from the bear. But at 50 yards, it doesn't really matter. But it gives you a lot of speed and a lot of energy. And this is the important thing. You want a bear stopper 989. So what does that mean? It means that bullet is going to travel deeper. Break some bones and stuff. Now, these bullets are the standard jacketed, solid point, hollow point, round nose, different things. It's gonna harm the bear. It might kill him, but you want something positive, something that it's gonna really tear him up and stop him on his tracks. You have to get the Buffalo Bore hard cast bullets, which I'm planning on getting a box. And then trying it out. I don't know. I gotta read on there's the owner of Buffalo Bore Company, that he lives in Idaho. Really nice area too. He talks a lot about his bullets and the guns and everything. So I gotta see what kind of loads he has, because I think he loads them heavily. He loads them hot to have the effect he wants on a big animal like a bear, a charging bear. So you have to have something that can really, stop him on his tracks, not shoot him full of holes and he keeps coming up. It's going to get you. So I got to look at those ballistics and loads. And he shows the box. And I don't know if he mentions the powder. This book does not have Buffalo Bore loads. I bought this book. I got the older book that doesn't have nothing about Buffalo Bore, but this is number 12. It only says number 12. I don't know when number 12 was printed. I have to look at the fine print in the back or on the front, and it gives you a date. But if you're gonna have a bullet for bear, that's what you should carry. None of this stuff is gonna do the 100% effect that you're launching a heavier lead, and boom, But the speed on the 260 is 1,079, on the 200 is 1,301 feet velocity out the muzzle. So energy-wise, it's about 60 pounds difference. Not that much of a difference if the advantage of the Colt is the diameter. It's a 45. So I used to carry the 45 ACP, and now I am not. Now I am not doing it. 360 pounds is not much, unless you're really up close, and I cannot do anything more. It has to be 50 yards. So with the program. So the 357 is on top, and that's when you put it when you have a hot. Let me see if you have a hot load, There's another 158 grain, but this is all lead. This is more for target than anything. And the highest one is 1,034 feet per second. Only 6.0 grains of powder. You're not going to do much with that. The highest one is the 15 grains of powder. And then the wad cutters, I got a bunch of wad cutters I'm gonna start loading. I'm gonna load it up with for Target at 2.6, which is very slow, and it comes out at 698. So, and then I got some 38 special that I have to load somewhere. Oh, here we go, 38 special. Okay, unique goes up to 981 with 5.1 grains, and then HS6 powder goes up to 944 with 6.1. That powder HS6, and then you start going down from there. 148, 806, 110, 125. Those are more. They're a little hotter than the 38. Then you have the 38 Smith & Wesson, and 5.3 with a Herco powder, unique powder. It goes out to 1001, 1060, and then it goes down from there. Bullseye gives you 935. So when you're shooting with the revolver, practice with the lowest load. Get accustomed to shooting the gun. This is for the new shooter if you never shot a 38. And get accustomed to the 38, just shooting the 38, which is not, it's pretty good. Then you move up to a 38 special. And then you have a little more kick, a little more impact, a little more recoil. And then when you're satisfied with that, you move up to 357. And then you start doing your heavy loads, or buying the bullets with the heavy loads. So the 357 does put out some energy. I thought it would go up a little higher, maybe into the 1100s, 1200, but it doesn't. I haven't found a load here that, let me see. Let's start here. Okay. See, this is 13. I'm talking energy. I'm talking 1,200 pounds of energy, not 1,200 feet per second. So the top load on this, on the 180, it's 989, which is a good punch. The 45 ACP is weak. 45 ACP here is 368. That's not really, unless you're really, really close, with 230 grain, and then 200 grain goes up to 387. So the bear's not really going to feel the difference. The 357 with 180 grain doing 1430 is going to give you 817, which is decent. And then the Colt with 200 grain is going to give you 752, which is pretty decent. And then the 260 is going to give you 672 energy, which I repeat, I thought that the heavier the bullet, the bigger the impact. So the camera died. I don't know where it stopped. So that's it. I think you got it all. Just practice with 38, move up to 38 special, which you're gonna get a little more kick and stuff, and then move up to 357, and you buy the heavier loads, or you load your own bullets if you load your own bullets, and you pick the one you want. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start selecting and choosing different loads until I find one that's comfortable and it's powerful. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.